was on December 18th at about 6:30 p.m. in 2019. That day, we were meant to have a little end-of-year do. All the staff were going to have a meal together. The boss said to me, "We're going to leave early." We had to finish up everything a bit quickly, and that's when the accident happened. I was working on a Kubota-type machine with a clamp bucket attachment. The worksite was fine, other than there wasn't enough room for the machines or for us. It was tricky to do return trips with the digger or operate the machine in the space. It was right on the riverbank of the Seine, about 2.50 meters from the water. During the day, we worked as hard as possible, and then in the afternoon we cleaned up the site properly. I picked up the load, a big bag about half full. I didn't know exactly how many kilos the big bag weighed. In fact, the clamp attachment, it's meant for grabbing rods, not for lifting big bags. I did one trip in reverse, but the boss said to me we had to go a little bit quicker. So for the second trip, as it was too slow, when I reversed, instead of turning round to go forwards, since there was no room to maneuver, and because on the left there were columns that stopped from turning inwards, I turned right towards the Seine. As I set down the blade, the ground wasn't concreted over. It was just compacted earth, and it began to give way. The digger gradually tipped over. The impact was cushioned a little as the digger hit the water, and I fell forwards gently. I pressed the machine's emergency stop button, and I even tried cutting the ignition 2 or 3 times, but it wouldn't stop. I tried to stay reasonably calm. If I had jumped into the Seine, then the machine would have fallen on top of me. But I stayed in the cab and held on to the 2 control levers. I climbed out through the front windscreen, not through the door, because the door was jammed. Then the boss said to me, "Give me your hand," and he pulled me out. When I jumped, I banged my knee, but that was all. The next day, the boss asked me if I was in pain. I said, "No, I'm not in pain." I didn't even have a single day of sick leave. It was a bit hard, but it's okay. Now it's okay. It changed me a lot, because since the accident, I've stopped working so fast. I think carefully now before doing something. I can say to my boss, if he asks me to hurry up, I can say to him, "Stop, slow down." Because if I have an accident, well, I've already had one. I don't want to have another one. I guess the message is, don't try to go too quickly. You also need to change the attachment to lift big bags. You have to think things through before lifting a heavy load. You need to read the instructions. It's better to lose a bit of time doing that than ending up having an accident.